Wagwan, everybody. I am your Jamaican queen, Miss Y. You are tuned into How I See It TV, and this is I Have a Question. Please remember to like this video, share the link to my channel if you feel like my content needs some more crowd, subscribe if you have not done so yet, follow me on Instagram, Twitter now called X, at How I See It, and on TikTok at How I See It TV. Okay, y'all, as some of you know, I am in Huntsville for Mimosas with Melody happening later this evening or tonight. I need to check what time it is in Huntsville because I know that um the time in South Florida is different from the time in Huntsville. Let me see. Cause I feel like I'm up super early. Let me check what time it is, y'all. Cause I am up so early. I am tired, okay? I got in last night, went and got food, and then I went to bed. But I'm still tired. Oh, hi, Dragonfly Alchemist. You said Huntsville is an hour behind. I thought so because I woke up and I saw the time. I was like, my body feels off. This feels weird to me. um, so you say there, Huntsville is, or South Florida is an hour, 1 hour ahead of Huntsville. Okay, so it is actually 7:48 here in Huntsville. I thought that time was wrong. I thought that time was wrong. But anyways, y'all, I have a couple questions, right? So my first question is, if you are a fan of Melody Sherry, do you have a problem with people sharing their honest experience with Seventh Avenue Beauty? And I'm asking that question because I just finished listening to a content creator that I actually like. I like her content. She gives good and fair commentary. Like if you're actually listening to what she's saying and not just trying to um focus on bits of pieces that might raise alarms for you or whatever. I don't know how to word it. But if you listen for accurate context, then you would, realize that she's being fair in her commentary. Her cadence, it might come across as harsh or like she's being messy or whatever, but that's just how she speaks. So I have no problem with her sharing her not so great experience with Seventh Avenue Beauty, but she said something that, and I posted my comment under her video. She said that basically there are content creators who speak negatively about Stormy's business and have other content creators using their content to continue to bash Stormy and Canvas Beauty. And I said to that, like, in the same way that you are sharing your not so great experience with Seventh Avenue Beauty, and she provided her receipt, so I can't even say she's lying and blah blah blah. And it seems like what happened with her products, not with her not receiving her products, was not so much a Seventh Avenue Beauty issue, but uh, um a post office issue. However, she did get her refund. It took some months based on the receipts that she provided, but she got her refund, right? But anyways, what was I saying? I had no problem with her doing that, but what I had a issue with is her not realizing that in the same way that she is sharing her um we'll call it negative experience, she's now opened the door for content creators who don't like Melody to use her content as a way to bash Melody and Seventh Avenue in the name of supporting Stormy or supporting Tisha or supporting Destiny or whatever. So it's like I thought it was very ironic that she didn't realize that these other content creators, they were also sharing their real life experience with Canvas Beauty. If they didn't get their product, if the product wasn't good, if they didn't get a response when they asked for a refund or whatever it may be, they had to go through their banks. At the least, she didn't have to go through her bank to get her refund. It seemed like Seventh Avenue Beauty, they eventually responded to her message with a lengthy apology, right? And then she got her refund. The people who have shared their experience with Canvas Beauty, well, the content creators who have shared their experience with Canvas Beauty, they didn't get an apology. They didn't get a lengthy message saying, we strive to provide quality service. We apologize, that you didn't get your order or that items were missing from your order. And then she got a refund. And she also said that she's ordered with, 7th Avenue before and she got her products, but something was happening in that state at the time with she even explained this. Something was happening at the time with UPS in her state, and that is why she knows that's why she didn't get her order, but she was just providing these receipts as a way to show people that just like we say Canvas Beauty isn't perfect because people didn't get orders or whatever, she didn't get an order from 7th Avenue. And I guess based on her receipt, it took them 3 months to respond to her message and to give her a refund, right? And as a fan of Melody, I don't have an issue with you saying I didn't get my product on time. They didn't respond on time. Okay, I, this is the first time I've ever heard anything of the sort regarding 7th Avenue. I've ordered from 7th Avenue several times. As some of you know, I use the face wash um, and the scrub, and I've re-upped on the face wash twice. Literally purchased, and it was packed and shipped the same day, and I got it within days, no issues, right? However, Melody is running a company, and she is pretty much a one woman show. So of course things are going to happen. Things here and there's going to fall through the cracks. But as that happens, it gives Melody the chance to tighten up. And I think because this is the first time I've ever heard somebody say, well, I ordered from 7th Avenue and I didn't get a product and whatever, I believe that Melody's doing a great job, because you can't say the same over there when it comes to Canvas Beauty. And what was it, their Black Friday sale or whatever, where to date a lot of people haven't gotten their products and haven't received any message, DM, email with an apology, or to even explain what has happened. So to me, it seems like Melody is doing a great job. If one out of how many thousands of people has one negative review, then great. I feel like that's great. So I don't have a problem with anybody saying, giving feedback about 7th Avenue or even Melody, if I feel like they're being fair and they're coming with the truth, right? Also, this content creator, she talked about how Melody was kind of getting inspiration from Stormy. And I had to fact check that, cuz I was like, how is Melody following Stormy? Like, that doesn't make sense to me given certain facts. One, Melody established Embrace before Canvas Beauty was even established. And we can go fact check that. We have the date based on interviews that Stormy gave us. We have the date of when Canvas Beauty started. And based on Love and Marriage Huntsville, we know when Melody started Embrace. And that was before the Ponderosa, right? She was talking about Embrace from season 1 of Love and Marriage Huntsville. Embrace was only dissolved because of Melody's divorce. And because Martell was sitting on the show talking about he wanted 50% of the profit. He didn't want to do any work, but he wanted 50% of the profit. And so she said dissolved. And then immediately after that, she established Seventh Avenue. So Seventh Avenue being a new company, it's just new in name only and for legalities. Melody has been working on her skincare line from season 1. We saw it season 1. When we were introduced to Stormy, Stormy was selling hair care. And yes, hair care is a part of, you know, beauty, but that's what she started with. Melody, on the other hand, she started with skincare. Melody wants to own a beauty empire. And so, of course, I believe the strategist that Melody is, she always had plans for hair care and she always had plans for makeup. We saw her selling makeup. She was collaborating with what's it called, Posner, for their lipstick. So Melody was always going to be in this lane. It seems to me that Stormy had to pivot because of the things that was happening with Canvas Beauty at the time, her almost losing the company. She had to pivot with a product that would sell fast. And that's how the body glaze came into being, in my opinion. However, Melody had a body butter before Stormy started with her body glaze. Melody and Stormy, they got on TikTok at the same time. However, Melody wasn't focused on being on TikTok shop because 7th Avenue Beauty.com or .net, I think it is, was where was what she was pushing, and that was where she was making her money. What Melody is doing on TikTok right now, y'all, is the very same thing she was doing on her IG lives years ago. And again, that can be fact checked. So this following Stormy thing, to me, it doesn't make sense because Melody literally has been doing TikTok shop before TikTok shop became a thing. She was just doing it on Instagram. We would watch Melody on Instagram live, packing orders, doing story times, giving out discounts, having fun, talking about new products. She would do that all the time on IG Live. She's just moved those Instagram lives regarding 7th Avenue. She's now moved those lives over to TikTok. That's all it is. The TikTok shop is not where Melody makes the bulk of her money from her products or her services. Because you have to remember, Melody does her property preservation class as well. That is a service. And so when a content creator says something like that, and then someone like me listens and I'm like, no, you're actually not giving facts, because Melody started her company before Canvas Beauty. Melody started doing skincare before Stormy started doing body glaze. And body glaze isn't even skincare. So these women, they are in different lanes. So honestly, I wish that some of us as Melody fans would stop, the comparisons as well. But it's hard to, because here I go this morning listening to a content creator who, in my opinion, wasn't given facts. Her timeline was off. In the way she spoke, it would kind of sound like Melody followed Stormy into the beauty industry. Y'all have to remember, Melody didn't know nothing about Stormy until Stormy hit up Melody and her team because they wanted Melody to help in promoting Canvas Beauty's hair oil. And at that time, Melody was already working on and promoting Embrace. So if you're gonna say you're giving facts, please do some more research on the timeline. Just like when Kyle came out and said, "Oh, if we see any other products similar to the body glaze, those companies are just copying us and duping Canvas Beauty." And I went and I did my research and I found several companies who have the same body glaze products with the same pastry themes: cookies and cream, peach cobbler, all of that. And some of these companies, they were operating from 2008. So when we're given timelines as content creators, we need to make sure that our timeline is correct. Because when you say something like, "Oh, everything Stormy does, Melody follows," it doesn't make sense when Melody was doing skincare the second we met her as Melody S. Holt on Love and Marriage Huntsville. Right? She is one out of thousands, but Canvas. Right. Um, Now somebody want to make body scrubs. Who's that? Who wants? Let me guess. Who's trying to make body scrubs? And then if the person I'm thinking is who you're talking about, if they do go ahead and do body scrubs, will people say, "Oh, she's following Melody"? Because as we know, Melody, she started with her face wash, a milk bath, her OG body scrub, and her OG body butter. So Melody's been true to this since she started. So if this person goes and starts doing body scrubs, will people say, "Oh, she's following Melody. Everything Melody does, she does too"? Like, that would be interesting. Plus, Stormy got the glaze idea from another lady that was making food type products for the body. I'm just saying, I did that research. I saw that for myself. I saw one company that their graphics, their graphics for their donut body butter, well, body glaze, it actually isn't a butter, it's a glaze. And their oh, I have to go back to that video that I did. Their company is called Glaze Ish. Okay. And they have a donut body glaze. And when you go to their website, that was established in, I think it was 2016 or something. When you go to their website, y'all, and you look at their donut body glaze, the graphics for their container, it looks eerily similar to Canvas Beauty's graphics for their donut body glaze. Now, if one company had their product from 2016 and Stormy just started last year with body glaze, then who copied who? I'll just leave that out there. And that's not me. And I think people mistake giving facts for bashing. In the same way, I don't feel like this content creator was bashing Melody when she said, I didn't receive my product and it took them 3 months to respond and give me a refund. I don't think that was bashing. You're sharing your opinion, you're sharing your experience, you're speaking your truth with your receipts. In the same way, I didn't feel like that was bashing. It's the same way I don't feel like me saying Glaze Ish was established in 2016 and Canvas Beauty's body glaze was established last year. So if the graphics are similar, then one would have to conclude that Canvas Beauty copied that other company's graphics for their product. And Glazed Ish is actually based in Alabama. That even makes it worse. And guys, I did the research. It's easy to find when a company was established. A quick Google search can tell you. And Glazed Ish was actually established in 2016. And their OG product, their flagship product, is their donut glaze. It's not bashing for me to give the facts. People need to separate bashing somebody from giving facts. It's a difference in my opinion. In my opinion, Mel is on TikTok due to this to discount given to customers and she still gets full pay. It's smart and I feel like Melody has a strong business team behind her, right? Just like Stormy had Kyle. Kyle worked for TikTok when it was called, oh, I don't remember the name. What was it called? Let me Google real quick, y'all. Because TikTok was called something else before it became TikTok. Just give me 1 second. What was Tik TikTok's name before? All right, here we go. So TikTok was called Musically before it became TikTok. And Kyle, let me pull this up because I went to his LinkedIn. I went to his LinkedIn to, kind of see who is, like, what's his background. So Kyle Ivanko, y'all. Oh my God. Y'all, I switched from, while I, where is the thing? I can't even enter my LinkedIn now. I switched from my iPhone. Well, I'm doing this live stream on my iPhone right now. Hi, Toot Latrice. I'm doing this live from my iPhone, but I switched from iPhone to an Android. I switched to a Samsung because the camera on the Samsung is like really, 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 really great. But anyways, so now that I've switched over, it's like it's a learning curve, y'all. Let me tell you, it's a learning curve. So now I can't even get into my LinkedIn. This is crazy. Ugh, what is this? No, 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 no. That's not what I want. Oh, who child? Okay, here we go. I'm trying to pull up Kyle's LinkedIn, y'all. skip that for now. Jesus. I'm telling you, Android is not an easy life. I like the phone, but I like the Android. I like the Samsung, but because I've gotten so used to my iPhone, it's like just so just ugh. On my iPhone, I know exactly where to go to to um to find my YouTube, to find my camera. It's just okay. So, Kyle, where is it? This man's resume is super long. Okay? Super, super, super long. So, Kyle was actually, before TikTok became TikTok, he was, where is it? Jesus. Ugh, child. I can't find the information that I wanted to share with y'all. Mm. Okay. Social media lead was his title before TikTok became TikTok, right? Um he was also well he's still a digital marketing strategist for Upwork because it says current. Um he was chief marketing officer for Buzz Music. He was campaign strategist for Novido Marketing. And it continues and continues. He was international marketing and growth coordinator or manager, I think, for another company. He was a social growth and ad spend marketer for another company. He was a campaign manager for another company. He was operator and project contributor for another company. So what this tells me is that with Kyle working with Stormy, there was no way that she would not have ended up on TikTok Shop, is basically my point. Right? Maybe if Kyle wasn't her COO, she wouldn't have gotten on TikTok as fast on the TikTok Shop as fast as she did. Right? But with his background and with his expertise and with his connections at TikTok, it doesn't surprise me that Stormy is doing so well. Kyle's Kyle's strength is in social media marketing. It's in growth. And so he did his job and it seems like he did it well. Now, I don't know if his grievance with Stormy, if it's the 100% truth, and that is why I haven't continued to cover it. Because I don't know. I'm waiting for more information to come out. There's always two sides to a story, right? But when you look at this man's resume, it gives that if Canvas Beauty was basically going to be bankrupt and shut down a couple months ago, and then Kyle came in and used his knowledge and expertise to save the company. And this is from Stormy's mouth. So again, it's not bashing. It's not rooting for the white man. It's me repeating the things that Stormy has said. So again, because this is I have a question, why is it that some content creators feel like because some of us are covering the whole Kyle and Stormy fallout that we're bashing Stormy. No, we're reporting on what's happening in the Love and Marriage Huntsville streets. So Kyle obviously uses expertise and his network to help canvas beauty. And so my point is that with his background coming from TikTok and social media management and business development and growth, it doesn't surprise me that Canvas Beauty got on the TikTok shop and was doing so well. In the same way that Melody has her business team and they are advising her accordingly. Now, people look at the numbers, right? The numbers on TikTok. And they say, well, if you look at Canvas Beauty, their body glaze sells more than 7th Avenue. Well, of course. Melody's following is bigger on Instagram and on Facebook. So what would that tell you if you're using your business mind? That majority of her sales would be trafficked through her 7th Avenue Beauty website, not TikTok. The largest following that Stormy has is on TikTok. So any person knowledgeable about business would tell you that, of course, her TikTok shop would have a lot of sales because that is where she has majority of her following. Majority of the people who are buying the body glaze, they aren't going to Canvas Beauty's website. They are hitting purchase in the TikTok shop. Melody's customer base is larger over on Instagram, which means that they are clicking the 7th Avenue Beauty website link and they're purchasing through the website. It's common sense. It's common sense. Or I don't know, maybe it's not that common. Let me read some of your comments. You can also do more with Android. Just play with it. Make sure to enable biometrics and save your password. Okay, thanks to girl. I'm learning. Okay, I love the phone though, as I said, but it's a learning curve. Hi, Natisha. Oh, what is the B? Good morning. What is the B in Southwest Bonnet? We're gonna talk about that in a second. Kyle has the connections. Don't Stormy know them, folks. She doesn't. She doesn't know them. Those were Kyle's people. A lot of the people who are still working at TikTok right now are people who were working when it was a startup. When it was Musically, I think then it became Flippagram or something like that. Like, TikTok has gone through some changes, y'all. And so a lot of the people are still there. Now, if I'm Kyle and I have a friend who I started off with when the company was called something else, and that friend was probably uh, a lower level employee when we were both at the company. And now that the company has become TikTok, that person is now an executive at the company. You think I'm not going to call my connect and say, hey, I'm the COO for this amazing company, blah, 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 blah. Of course, he's going to sell. That's his job. I'm the CEO for this amazing company. It's all about beauty. Here's their numbers. We're doing a body glaze, and I think that it would be great for the TikTok shop that y'all are launching, blah, 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 blah. Of course, that's what he's gonna do. That's smart. That's smart. He's gonna leverage his expertise. That's smart. He's gonna take her over there to the TikTok headquarters because he knows the people. That's smart. Y'all think that Stormy got an audience with the TikTok executives just because she's Stormy Steele? Come on. Come on, y'all. Let's be smarter than that. Now that we know that Kyle used to work for TikTok, it makes sense and nothing's wrong with it. But I'm just saying, let's talk like we got some sense. What Sunny say? That $2 attitude will make you lose millions. I also want to talk about that statement Sunny made. The reason why you were invited. Sometimes you're not invited because you don't do, the white powder. I was like, ooh, Sunny, what are we saying? Right, Toot. Exactly. Kyle said he had to go back and grovel to make the deal. Exactly. People wanna sit up here and act like this guy just because he's white and Stormy's a black woman. They want to sit up here and act like this man didn't do his job. If everything that Kyle says is true, if everything he says is the truth, then he does have an ownership stake in the company that is Canvas Beauty. It doesn't matter. I heard a lawyer breaking down some stuff, and with my limited knowledge of Alabama laws, I had to say, no, think I think there are scenarios where you can be an employee, a contracted employee of a company, and still be a shareholder. The people who work in Publix, a lot of them are shareholders. I think. But anyways, there are scenarios where you can be an employee, especially when you are like a Kyle with all the expertise that he brings. There is contractual arrangements where you can be a partner in the company and still be an employee. So that lawyer girl, I don't think she knows what she's talking about. Especially if business law is not her area of expertise. I'm just saying. So, anyways, let's jump into Miss Southwest. And I'm going to say her name just one time over here. And that's the only time I'm going to say her name. Sharrel's World. Now, I used to watch Sharrel's World way, 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 way back. But season 5, Real Housewives of Potomac happened. And the way they would sit on their platform and drag Candace Dillard Bassett, I said, no, ma'am, I'm not coming back over here. Ever, 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 ever again. And I stopped watching Sharrel's World. Let me read this. Tamika Williams says, you're right. My cousin was a district manager for a popular food chain and a shareholder. So that's what I'm saying. I don't understand why that lawyer girl, remember that lawyer lady when, and I didn't even realize that it was her until somebody let me know. That lawyer lady who, when Melody got her doctorate or whatever, her honorary doctorate, this lady came out being all up in her feelings about it. That lady, she was on her platform. Right, it's that same one. That's what I was saying. Dragonfly Alchemist, that same lawyer lady that came out shading Melody. Um, she was the one on her platform trying to make it seem like there is like no way that Kyle can be a partner in Canvas Beauty and still contractually be an employee. There are instances where this is possible. There are instances where this is possible. And I had asked my friend, if y'all watch my Accurate Context lives, you hear me say, a lot of the information I get, I have to reach out to a friend of mine who is an attorney and they give me like the breakdown of some things. And so I asked my friend if it's possible for someone to be a partner in a company and still be an employee. And what my friend told me was that, especially in Alabama, right, there is something called partnership by estapel, right? And he gave me the code to go read up, and I didn't read up on it. But there's something called partnership by estapel. And so let me see if I can find the information. I'm going through my text messages so I can. This was supposed to be an accurate context episode, y'all, but I haven't gotten around to doing it. So a partnership by estapel in a beauty products company can occur when a person holds themselves out as a partner or representative of the company. The company allows or encourages this representation, right? So Stormy has referred to Kyle as her COO. Y'all, I hope y'all understand what I'm saying. Um, Third parties, example, customer suppliers, rely on this representation and do business with the company, right? The person is not actually, wait, where that is. Okay, so a partnership by estapel, the person is not actually a partner, but the company is barred from denying their partnership status due to their actions. That's what my friend sent me. Because I was like, why is this lawyer saying that he is not a partner? He's an employee. And so my friend said, well, maybe it's a partnership by estapel situation. And he asked me, like, what does this guy do? Blah, blah, blah. And I was like explaining it. And he was like, well, maybe it's a partnership by estapel, which means that Canvas Beauty, based on whatever job Kyle had, whatever he was doing for that company, Canvas Beauty will not be able to deny his partnership status due to all the jobs that he was doing there, right? I'm gonna make this now. Now I'm excited to make this an accurate context episode, y'all. Okay, so example in a beauty products company, because I went to research, an individual is introduced as a partner or co-owner at industry events or on social media. Stormy called Kyle her partner on Love and Marriage Huntsville. And we don't know when they're in these business meetings what she's telling the people or what she was telling the people while he was working for her. For all we know, Stormy was in business meetings saying, hi, this is my CEO and partner, Kyle. But she did call him her partner on Love and Marriage Huntsville. Now, I could be wrong, but Toot Latrice is saying she sure did. I remember the episode last season. So when my friend gave me this information and said, just go do some more research, blah, 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 I went running to find the information. So as I said, examples in a beauty product company, an individual is introduced as a partner or co-owner at industry events or on social media. The company allows someone to use business cards or marketing materials indicating they are a partner. A person is given authority to make decisions or enter into contracts on behalf of the company. This is law. This is the law. And this is Alabama. I'm just saying. So I don't know what that lawyer girl was talking about. Now, to avoid partnership by estapel, beauty products companies should clearly define partner roles and responsibilities. What did Kyle tell us? His roles and responsibilities were not clearly defined, even down to the end. It wasn't clearly defined. Now, I don't know if this is true or not, but I'm sure he has receipts because he said he asked her via text, was it? to outline what his roles and responsibilities were. So there you go. Use written agreements and contracts. Avoid allowing non-partners to represent themselves as partners. So if Kyle was out here saying that he's a partner in Canvas Beauty and she didn't come out and say he's not, like, even when he did that whole blast on Instagram the other day, Stormy legally should have come out and said, now, I'm only going to make reference to this one time and one time only. Kyle Ivanko was not a partner in Canvas Beauty. But guess what? She can't say that now because she already told us that on the show that he's a partner. Correct any misconceptions or misrepresentations promptly. Okay. And then the code my friend gave me to go read upon, Alabama Code 10A-8-1. It governs partnership and partnership agreements. Agency Law, Alabama Code 10A-8-101. It regulates principal agent relationships, which can be relevant in partnership by estoppel cases. And in 3, contract law, Alabama Code 10A-1-101. It encompasses general contract principles, including estoppel and misrepresentation. Now, I'm going to do a whole accurate context on this, y'all, because I have so much information. Just sometimes I love it when, like, my friend has free time. I had sent like all my questions, and then when they had arrived to their destination, we had talked on the phone, and they gave me more information because I asked these questions because of the things that Simone was saying in her life. It didn't make sense to me, right? Will the workers be paid on time now that Kyle no longer doing payroll? Like, shoot, I don't know. Allegedly, and I don't know. So let's talk about Sharrel's world real quick, y'all. And why is she going at Carlos so hard? A couple months ago, she was rooting for Carlos King. A couple months ago, Carlos could do no wrong. A couple months ago, Melody Cherie was the problem. Now, all of a sudden, according to Sharrel's world, Carlos is evil. Carlos, according to Sharrel's world, is feeding his cast information about each other, creating discord. Sharrel's world, according to her, allegedly Carlos had something to do with Kiki's untimely passing, and I thought that was like a wild accusation to throw out there. She said Tisha told Carlos that Kiki was fragile, and there was things that Carlos was doing behind the scenes that led to Kiki's passing. And I'm like, lady, this is a very damaging accusation to throw out there about somebody. Now, I might not care for Carlos. There was a point in time I was a fan, and it's my prerogative to change my mind. When you start seeing how people move in, it's okay to say, yeah, I'm not a fan anymore. I wanted to pay my $500 or $600 or whatever it was to do the consultation, to share a TV show idea that I have been working on. I've been working on this proposal for a while now. And when I learned that he had this consultancy firm where you can pay your money, go pitch your ideas, and then he'll give you advice on what to do, where to go, blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay, I could pay my $500 and go get this insight, because we know Carlos from Love and Hip Hop, Real Housewives of New Jersey, Atlanta, and also Love and Marriage Huntsville. But then the more I see how his shows, are set up, is the more I'm like, do I want to go present my idea to this man? And then maybe 5 years down the line, I'm seeing an idea similar to mine on TV. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Hi, American born. So I was like, yeah. Miss Price 60. Hi, good morning. So yeah. Anyways. But I don't see it for Carlos, but I can still say that that's a wild accusation to throw out there. What Sharrel's world is saying is that she is speaking to somebody, I'm guessing somebody close to Kiki, somebody close to the situation, who was letting her know that Kiki unalived herself. And I'm like, listen, who is this person that you're talking to? Who is this person? Because I hope to God it's not AL that you're talking to, who is giving you this information. If the information is not coming from a close family member, Sharrel, I wouldn't have repeated it. And even if it came from a close family member, and I keep saying close, not Wanda, not Tisha, not any of the Scott brothers, not any of the cousins. If it's information is coming from her husband or her mom, then I wouldn't repeat it. And even if it came from them, I think there's just some things that you just don't have to say on your platform. This is a sensitive thing. And if you're getting these exclusive information and she's saying that she dares anybody to come out and say that she's lying, she dares Carlos to come out and say that she's lying, because when she has conversations with people, she lets them know that she records, and if she has to blast her recordings, she will, or whatever. But I'm just saying, still, there's just some things that you just, sometimes it's okay to let some sleeping dogs lie, child. And this is one of those instances. What happened between her and Carlos to the point she is now blasting him in this way? She's saying none of the cast members on his show likes him. How do you know that? Sharrel is saying Carlos is knowingly messing with people's mental health. But the fans of Melody Cherie were trying to express that some months ago, and Sharrel wanted no parts. She didn't believe it. But all of a sudden, she's on the outs with Carlos, and he is the worst human being that could walk the reality TV landscape. Isn't that something, y'all? How fast the tables turn. And the tables are going to continue to turn. Because when you lay down in a dirty bed, when you get up, you're going to be dirty too. It doesn't matter how clean your clothes is. If you lay down in a bed that is full of dirt and mud and filth, when you wake up, you're going to be just as dirty as the bed you lay down in. So it seemed to me, in my opinion, that Sharrel were in cahoots with Carlos, in my opinion. This is just me speculating. They were all in cahoots just a few months ago. And Melody, a few months ago, she was the bad guy. And now we're in August, and Carlos is the bad guy. Now, isn't that something? When she made reference to the production team, the Morning Sweet Essence, when she made reference to producers being responsible for the cast mental health, I had to agree. I might not like the lady, but I have to agree. These reality TV shows should and must have mental health specialists, whether a psychologist, a therapist, a counselor. They must have these people on set, because things can go down on the set that's triggering, that's traumatizing. Before people go to film, you need to be assessing their mental health. A lot of reality TV is a lot of fake stuff, but then there are instances where you get real emotions from people, where people get really angry. And they're not necessarily angry because of something that their cast member is saying to them in the moment. They're angry because of probably something that their daddy said to them, or their mama said to them on a phone call, or their sister said to them, or they're mad because an employee messed something up. And then they come to film, they're probably mad at their husband, mad at their wife. They're struggling with something internally that has nothing to do with the filming process, nothing to do with any of their castmates. But then they go into a scene because there was no mental health professional assessing their mental stability before filming starts. And they go into a scene and a cast member says one thing to them that triggers a violent reaction. So she's right. As the owner of Kingdom Reign Entertainment, it is Carlos's responsibility to ensure the mental well-being of his staff, of his employees. The cast of Love and Marriage Huntsville, Love and Marriage Detroit, Love and Marriage DC, they are his employees. So I agree with Sharrel when she said that. And so when you have this responsibility and you are being messy behind the scenes, allegedly, according to Sharrel's world, Carlos is feeding his cast information about each other. And let me tell you how a producer would be able to do this. When you go into those pre-production meetings, y'all, and you have to tell producers what's going on in your life, the good stuff, the bad stuff, the hard stuff, the traumatizing things, right? You have to go into these pre-production meetings and you have to have these discussions with your producer. And they are writing notes. They're taking notes because they have to establish how they're going to set up your storyline going into the season. So, for example, Destiny probably went into her pre-production meeting and she said, well, I'm still going through this custody situation with my ex-husband. There is still a gag order in place, so I can't really speak about him legally on the show. I can't really speak about our marriage legally on the show. However, my ex-producer, she's now married to my ex-boyfriend. And yeah, it hurts a little bit. I'm just saying, maybe these are the things that Destiny went into her pre-production meeting saying to her producer. And her producer probably said, well, okay, since we can't talk about LeBeric, what we're going to center your storyline around your support. They probably said, how do you feel about Martell? And she probably said, oh, me and Martell, we're cool. That's my brother. That's my G. The producers know everything that's happening with Martell and Melody. And they already know the dynamics between Destiny and Melody, right? And they probably say, what's your relationship like with Stormy? What's your relationship like with Tisha, Kimmy, Nell? And they go down the line and they ask all these questions. And if Destiny's honest, she might say, oh, I don't F with Mel, da 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 da. She's hanging around with my ex-husband, da 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 da. She might have said all of this, right? And when that pre-production meeting is done, then those producers, they go and they meet with Carlos. Or they send their notes to Carlos. And they give him a strategy regarding how they feel like everybody's storyline should be set up. And then they say, you know what? I think it would be a great idea to have Sunny come on the show with Moses. That might create a whole storm. So they're setting the stage for all of these things to happen. And all these personal information that the cast give to their producers during the pre-production meeting, Carlos is privy, in my opinion, to the information. All these other producers on the show, these field producers, they too are also privy to some of the things that the other cast members have said to their producers in the pre-production meeting. And I feel like, in my opinion, Carlos gives these producers the okay to drop little breadcrumbs to the cast members that they are assigned to. This is just my opinion. I'm not saying that this is what he does. And I'm saying this for legal. The opinions expressed herein are solely my own and should not be deemed as facts. And I bear no responsibility for thoughts and opinions of those engaging with this content in the live chat or in the comments. All right, that's my disclaimer. Anyways, they drop little breadcrumbs. A producer might say to Stormy, you know, in the pre-production meeting, Tisha let it be known that y'all not cool. And so on and so on. A producer might go back to Destiny and might say, this person doesn't really mess with you like that. They think you're fake. They think this, that. I'm just saying. So they drop these breadcrumbs and then they get the cast hyped up to come at each other. That's actually how I feel like it goes down. So when Sharrel says he feeds his cast information about each other, I think that's what she's referring to. Let me read some of your comments. Isn't it something, Natisha says, isn't it something to see alliances turning on each other? Yep, it sure is. And a lot more alliances are about to crumble. Just watch. Because we know that she talks to AL. How long do you think that's going to last for? Stormy's alliance with AL. How long do you think that's going to last? I can believe that because of watching how he moves. Everything sinks in timing when everything he releases upon his announcements. Yeah, Carlos is strategic. It's not a coincidence that he decided to team up with Heavenly. As Sharrel World says, he aligns himself with people who have followings, a large following. right? Heavenly and Carlos together, they get thousands of views on their lives. But Messy Mondays is a perfect name because it goes beyond them just being messy sometimes though. The things that they said on Messy Mondays and said about Letitia Lunsford last season, that went beyond being messy. That went over the line of being disgusting, low down and dirty. And I agree with Sharrel that alliance between Carlos and Heavenly, it's not gonna last. It's not gonna last. That ninja stays trying to humiliate Melody. The things he asked her in reunion, he has never done that to his faves. Who do you think are his faves? I didn't like when he asked her about giving somebody lollipop service. Like, how inappropriate. Why is my boss asking me that? Why? Did he ever ask Martell if it was true that he was, you know what coleslaw said? Did he ever ask Martell that? So why is he asking Melody that? He literally sat on that reunion stage and asked Melody if she thought she was a good wife. How dare you? Those those weren't his exact words, but I mean, pretty much down those lines. How inappropriate. Did he ever ask Martell if he felt like he was a good husband? I don't remember. And then he made some statements like, when a woman starts to rise or whatever, she leaves her husband behind. I'm like, Melody was trying to pull Martell up with her, and he wanted to stay down in the dirt with coleslaw. So let's be for real. Sweet Essence says, because Carlos King knows Melody is smarter than him, and she's already done figured him out on how he operates. He cannot manipulate. And Melody proved that at the live in Huntsville in January. See, because he didn't know Melody was going to get that deep. And he didn't expect that Melody was going to call him out to the point where they edited that out of the show. When they aired that live show at the start of the season, they edited out the part where Melody was calling him out, where Melody was asking, how long are they going to fund the madness that is Martell? Why did you have to edit that out? We already heard it all across YouTube. And the question still stands. This man has been convicted, but he's still filming. He's still filming. Hi, Tawana, Oppressing Women Network. Tawana, you were going to be here in Huntsville? Because somebody's saying safe travels. Sweet Essence, Heavenly threw Carlos and TGIF under the bus yesterday. Ooh, did she? Ooh, I gotta see. Because I don't be going over there, so I don't know what's happening on her channel. I live for it. She pretty much corroborated what Armand Claudia said about Al. Oh, Al Reynolds. Yeah, we know Al Reynolds does not like Heavenly, and she sure doesn't like him. But the thing is, Heavenly was out of pocket. She was out of pocket. She knows good and darn well that man hasn't been married to Star Jones in a while. She was being shady. She was being disrespectful, calling him a name that he does not want to be called. And Heavenly has a way of acting like she doesn't remember people's names and being disrespectful with it. In the same way she continues to refer to Melody as Melody Holt, Sharnita's World, she shared an experience with Heavenly not using, the correct pronunciation of her name, even though Heavenly was told several times what the pronunciation was. She did it with Contessa when Contessa first came on the show, calling this lady Contessa. So when it comes to Al versus Heavenly, I'm on Al's side because she was out of pocket. But of course, she's going to use this moment where everybody's, against Al, and maybe rightfully so. She's going to use it to make herself a victim in that situation. But the truth is, she was rude. She was rude. She didn't want to be corrected. She thought she was over there on Married to Medicine where she can just be loud and think that everybody is going to bow down to her or something. And Al said, listen, if she's a guest on this show that I've helped to build and she's going to disrespect me, then she should have come back. I'm just thinking that's the conversation he had. And then she didn't come back. Oh, you're driving in from Atlanta. Okay, so we will meet. We will meet. I don't know who's gonna be wearing what shade of pink, but I'm gonna be in a deep fuchsia dress. So look out for me. Or you might hear me talking, you're gonna hear the accent. But I would love to meet you, Tawana. Heavenly did a spot up live yesterday. She spoke on her guest spot time at TGIF before Armin was selected. She said that Al went after her. And as I said, I feel like she disrespected him first. So she needs to tell the whole story and not just, be on the bandwagon of going after Al Reynolds, because that's what everybody is doing right now. Oh, me too, Tawana. That's where I'm staying too. So we're gonna link up. I know we can't say the name of the venue, but you and I know. So that's where I'm staying too. So well, if you want to DM me and tell me what time you're coming in so that I can look out for you. I'm about to go get ready, and I'm about to get ready to go get my makeup done. I need to call like this lady and find out like where I need to be and what time and stuff. But yeah, when you get in, just DM me and let me know that you're at the spot and we can probably meet downstairs or something. um yeah. So so Sharrel's World, she is going in on Carlos. She's calling him out for some things that I feel is dangerous. Doesn't matter how I feel about Carlos. If something sounds dangerous, sounds super wild, I have to say that within, good faith. Just to be fair. It's okay to be fair. And I don't think blaming somebody for someone's passing is an okay thing to do, especially if you don't have proof of this. And I don't think anybody has confirmed that Kiki unalived herself. So I don't know why Sharrel is out here repeating that and then putting the blame on Carlos in the same way that I didn't like. In the same way I don't like people saying, oh, it's Melody's fault. Like, that's crazy to me. I get grief is a crazy thing. It's a roller coaster ride, and there are steps in the grief process. And sometimes you have to be angry at somebody, especially when somebody passes away so suddenly and there's no explanation as to why somebody that seems so vibrant and full of life went away so soon. Sometimes you get angry at God and you blame God. I know when my cousin passed away, she was in her early 20s. She died of kidney failure. She had her whole life ahead of her. And I was like, God, there's so many evil people in this world. God, there's so many people who don't deserve to be breathing the same air as the rest of us. I mean, we know this is true. There's so many people hurting children, hurting so many innocent people. Why are they still here? And why my cousin who hasn't lived a life yet, why did you take her? And then there are people who are like, oh, God takes the good ones early. I'm like, shut the up, please. You go through the coulda, woulda, shouldas. Oh, I wish that I had said this. I wish I had the time to do. Like, you go through all of that. And sometimes, how many years later, I'm still in a state of denial. Like, I'm like, no, she's not gone. She's on a trip somewhere. So I get it. You're grieving and you want to blame somebody, but it's not fair to be blaming Melody, to be blaming Carlos, to be blaming her mom, to be blaming her husband. Like, it's too much. It's too much. So I didn't respect her saying that. But what I can say is that if she has recordings of Carlos saying certain things to her, I hope she drops them. I hope that she drops them. If she has proof that he's been feeding his cast members information about each other, then drop that. She says that Carlos is broke. Owen isn't paying him a lot of money for his shows. And so that's why he's over here on YouTube with the rest of us, trying to scrape up Heavenly's subscribers, trying to scrape up Funky Daniva's subscribers. She said that's why he's over here. There's a lot of money to be made on YouTube, y'all. If you have a certain amount of subscribers and you have a certain amount of viewers for each video, you can sit at home comfortably and pay your bills. I know people on YouTube right now who, when they drop a video, they are walking away each day with up to $2,000. Why would I need to go to work, work a regular 9 to 5, if when I drop a video that same day, I go check YouTube Studios to see how much I make, I done made $2,000 at the end of the day. And then I drop another video tomorrow, it's another $2,000. So by the end of the week, I could probably be at 10, more than that. Over 10K at the end of a week. Guys, there are people on YouTube making that kind of money. Isn't that crazy? I mean, it's not crazy, but I'm just saying. And this is why I'm investing in my YouTube. I'm trying to do my content a little bit differently. If I can go to an event and bring it to y'all live and get my viewership up, then I'm gonna do that. Because the return on that investment speaks for itself. The return on the investment from going to that event in Manatee County, Florida, a couple weeks ago, I made that money back. I'm just saying. I made that money back. So it didn't feel like it wouldn't have been a waste either way, because I wanted to go to network. It was a business expo. I wanted to see if there was any small business owners in the venue who would want to partner with me, sponsor my YouTube. Y'all, this live is being brought to you by XYZ Company. Check out the link in my description box. They have sales going on. Like, that's why I went. And then the icing on the cake was that Melody Cherie would be speaking. And that would have been content for my YouTube that I knew would have gotten me to a certain amount of viewers or a certain amount of views, and I would have made my money back. And I did. And so the reason why a lot of these YouTubers are in these YouTube streets fighting and coming at each other is because they don't feel like there is a big enough pie for everybody, because they know how much money they're making. So Carlos is over here with us because he knows that YouTube alone, he can sit at his house and not do anything but YouTube. He don't have to care about his cast. He's getting a YouTube check. He's getting an own check. He's getting a WeTV check. And if he's a part of the that actors association, what do they call it? I don't remember the name of it. Then he's probably getting residual checks from housewives as well. So that's why he's over here on YouTube, to make money, and that's fine. But she's saying he's broke. He can't afford his lifestyle. Owen isn't paying him enough, and that's why he ran to YouTube. I don't know. Maybe she has a recording of him saying that. I don't think Carlos is that silly to be on a phone call saying this to know Sharrel's world, but hey, she's acting like she has him on a recording, child. So my question as I end this live, one, as a fan of Melody, do you care or do you mind if people share their negative experiences with 7th Avenue? If someone has a negative review of 7th Avenue Beauty and they are a content creator and they come and they post or they do a video about their not so great experience with 7th Avenue, does that bother you? It doesn't bother me. It shouldn't bother any of you, but I'm still asking. Would it bother you? Do you feel like people have a right to share their experience in a respectful manner? Because I felt like she shared, the content creator I talked about earlier this morning who shared her not so great experience with 7th Avenue Beauty, she was respectful. What she explained doesn't seem like it was 7th Avenue's fault based on what she shared. It didn't seem like it was 7th Avenue's fault. However, I can understand being a little bit disgruntled because it took them some time to respond to messages. But she did get an apology, a lengthy apology, and she immediately, when they responded to her message, she got a refund. If she didn't have to go through her bank, 7th Avenue gave her refund. So I didn't mind her sharing that review. And that's like one of the first not so great reviews of 7th Avenues that I've seen. And it wasn't even about the product. It was just about one item being missing. And it was more so because of something that was happening with UPS in that state and not because of anything Melody did or Seventh Avenue did, right? Because in the business world, Seventh Avenue is a separate entity from Melody Cherie, just like Canvas Beauty is a separate entity from Stormy. Yes, they are the face, but from a legal standpoint, it's a limited liability company for a reason. Okay. Anyways, so that's my question. Do you guys think that people should be able to share their negative opinion or not so great opinion of Seventh Avenue or the Seventh Avenue beauty products? And would y'all be willing to listen to content creators who are sharing those experiences, but in a respectful way? My second question is, why is Sharrel's World going after Carlos King in the way that she did in her live? Why is she going at Carlos? What went wrong in the relationship? Did they even have a relationship? All right, y'all. I am going to hop off. I got to move around now, go get some breakfast. Hi, Alf MC. Okay, let me read what I've said. I don't care about what anyone says about their own personal issues with Seventh Avenue. That's their experience. Exactly. Those are my thoughts as well. The content creator, she fully expects, because I was listening to her video this morning, I think she fully expects that millimeters or millimeter content creators or just Melody fans in general are going to catch wind of her video. It's already at like 1,000+ views. She feels like people are gonna catch wind of the video and they're gonna bash her. And I'm like, I hope not. Let's prove these people wrong. So I hope that nobody goes over to her video and, goes on a bash train, because it's her opinion and she had her receipts. It happened. What she said happened actually did happen. And I didn't mind her sharing that experience. So I'm with you, Alf. You also say SW is a weirdo, but sometimes weirdos tell the truth every now and then. Time will tell. And I think, Alf, that is a great way to end this live. And Sweet Essence, the event is today. It's today. It hasn't started yet. I think it's like around 6, 7 tonight. So it hasn't started yet. But I'm gonna be doing content all day long. Soon as I get out of this hotel room, I'm about to go to the mall and see if I can find some people who are from Huntsville, who know about the show, people who watch the show, maybe they don't, and see what they have to say about Love and Marriage Huntsville. All right, y'all. My hubby is calling, so I'm gonna hop off this live. Thank y'all for watching. Remember to like this video, share the link to my channel if you feel like my content needs some more crowd. Subscribe if you have not done so as yet. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at How I See It, and on TikTok at How I See It TV. Intentions are key. If the review, one second, ooh, how do I do this? Okay. See what I'm saying, too? I don't even know how to answer this call. Hello? Video. Hello? What in the world? Let me call him back, because I don't know. Y'all are catching me live right now, not knowing how to use this phone. Jesus. But intentions are key. If the review is fair and balanced, no problem with negative reviews of 7th Avenue Beauty. I say the same thing, Stella. All right, y'all. Walk good. Bye.